Alright, with that, I think Pearl should sing us in.
We're already recording?
Yeah.
This is so unexpected, for me.
Hi, are you guys ready to check out? We're on it. Is Walter coming down? Oh. We're highly professional here at the Escapies.
Hi, are you guys ready to check out? That is, check out comic books at the Escapist.
Wonderful.
Well done. This is episode 24 or 5 of the Absolute Ultimate Escapist Comics podcast. We've got Acacia in the house.
Hi.
We've got Aldo, who's currently doing Aldo adventures outside. We've got Persephone who's checking someone out, and Pearl Berry, who looks beautiful today, with some excellent hair.
Thank you.
Gorgeous little side part going on.
I grew it myself.
Of course, me, Tate. I'm live casting in from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Where I'm doing my secret Tate stuff.
Yeah.
Which certainly doesn't consist of any kind of clown fuckery.
You would never participate in clown fuckery.
We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a bunch of new comics. We've got a new Adventure Time mini-series. We've got a new issue of Batman. Most importantly, we've got the conclusion of the Absolute Martian Manhunter series with issue 12, which we're both very happy and very sad to see going. But
I've got some new mental issues.
Oh my god, me too.
I just have a lot of old ones.
Well, catch up. There's so much new
get with
stuff
the times,
this week.
Acacia. I know, they released some new... There was a new drop. New color wave of OCD just dropped. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. I think Persephone's going to start us off with some comics news.
Yeah.
So you had stuff that you wanted to talk about that you thought we weren't going to talk about, right?
Oh god. I guess maybe we'll go back to the Supergirl movie that Pearl and I saw in a second. I think the only thing that I can think of is that they announced those animated shows, I guess. They announced like the Absolute Batman animated series, which my only question is really why at this point, because we're like 20 issues in to a series. Like, are we just going to adapt a series that's 20 issues long?
I hope they adapt Absolute Batman Annual.
God willing.
Yeah, Persephone's favorite comic of all time, the Arc M special.
Jesus Christ.
That's probably going to be the main arc.
From the world of Hush. Absolute Batman from the world of Hush. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. I was telling Corinne about this. It seems really early to do an Absolute Batman show because, like, people barely know who Batman really is at this point. Like, they don't even know he's not supposed to be that big.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the villains only really, like, are exciting if you, like, have experienced the other villains a lot, which granted, like, there's going to be people who've seen all the other Batman cartoons and, like, have read the comics and stuff, but I do feel like DC seems like they're getting ahead of themselves a little bit, because I feel like they've, like, really finally worked out a direction to go with stuff.
Yeah.
And choosing to do an Absolute Batman show is, like, probably, like, 6 steps ahead of where they need to be right now. Like, why don't you make another good Batman movie first?
Yeah.
You know, like, why don't we have at least one more other Batman villain?
Do we at least have Batman in Fortnite?
We do.
We definitely have Batman
at the very least.
Yes. Which, really, as I've said many times before, should have been step 1 of James Gunn's DC universe, really.
Well, I, for one, can't wait for Absolute Overwatch Batman.
But yeah, that's I don't know, do you know, like, I know it's Snyder writing it. Do we know any of the, like, visual creative team? Is Dragotta on the team?
We don't know. We know Snyder's on it. I think Dragotta's on it. We know nothing else.
I would hope Dragotta's on it.
Yeah, it'd be weird if it wasn't.
Yeah, I hope it's, like, Dragotta doing some, like, fucking anime shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it's X-Men 97 as Absolute Batman, you know?
Yeah.
Because you could really do some, like, real JoJo's stuff with Absolute Batman as a cartoon.
Yeah. I just hope they would have that sauce and the willingness to like
Go that hard.
Yeah, and
It's just it has to be weird. Like if you're gonna make a cartoon for Absolute Batman, you have to embrace the weirdness of a cartoon.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they have the guts to do that.
No, I'm kind of skeptical about it because either you're just going to adapt the book, in which case like the book sells like gangbusters. Everyone and their mom has read it. Like it's broken like Saga levels of containment or more. Like, or you do something like radically different with it, which is like interesting up to a point, but then also if Snyder is also showrunning and writing it and Dragotta presumably is on it, it's like at what point are you just writing two different versions of the same book?
Which, like, would be fine if they were, like, doing a show 5 years after the conclusion of Absolute Batman, the comic or something. But I just think it's, like, it's too fresh. It's gonna do... I think what's gonna happen is what happens to many shonen anime, which is that they start a new manga hits, like, Weekly Shonen Jump. It becomes incredibly popular. They have like 15 chapters or like 20 chapters out, and then production on the anime starts, and then the anime catches up to the show, and then the anime catches up to the manga and ruins the manga by like destroying it because they're creating all this like filler crap and stuff. And I fear that maybe the way that Absolute Batman goes, but I honestly kind of think with Absolute Batman, a sooner death date is probably better for the series. Like, it doesn't need to go on that long, I don't think. I really think, like, short and sweet might be the best thing. And I've heard Snyder be like, if they let me do 1,000 issues of Absolute Batman or whatever, I will. And, like, honestly, I think if anyone could, like, pull it off, I do kind of think, like, he's well-suited for it.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily think, like, it merits that. I think...
No.
Snyder deserves the ability to cut it off whenever he chooses to.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys watched the new Supergirl movie. What was that about?
Yeah. Okay, so very briefly before we talk about that, they announced 2 other shows. They announced the crypto show, which I don't know a lot about, but at least is something different.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. I could at least get behind that. And then some Joker anime, which I could care less about.
Yeah, that's going to be awful.
It's going to be terrible.
Joker should not... None of the rogues galleries... That's yours, yeah. None of the rogues galleries for any of the heroes should ever be their own TV show or movie. Like, the fact that we're making a Clayface movie is simply horrifying. Especially, like, before he shows up in a Batman movie. Like, that's really weird.
Was the Penguin show any good?
I've heard good things about the Penguin show. I never watched it because, frankly, I couldn't give 2 fucks about the Penguin. I barely...
I'm just mad they didn't do the Penguin for Gotham, where he was just like this really gay little mama's boy. Like, that was a fun interpretation.
I'm so happy you know about that, because I have nobody else to talk to about the Gotham show.
He's pretty, like, catty and gay in the Batman animated show. Not, like, the Batman animated series, but the show that's just called The Batman.
Oh, Batman, yeah.
He's kind of fruity in that, if you haven't seen that.
I haven't, no.
He's like a little dude who's just like... Yeah, he's just fruity with it. I don't know what else to say. He's very campy.
Yeah, which I feel like is a good... Like, he's a fundamentally campy character, so this is appropriate.
Exactly.
But the show that they did make seems to be a very much, like, serious take on him, and I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that James Gunn's Batman thing will be as kind of goofy and maybe like Silver Agey as his Superman movie was, you know? I hope Robin is in it. If Robin's not in it, I'll be pissed.
I would love to see Batman and Robin on screen. That would make me happy.
Yeah, the joy that I felt when Robin showed up in the early Detective Comics, because they were bad without him. Like, Batman was not interesting without Robin in the early Detective Comics. He does a lot for the series. But yeah, what are your feelings about the Crypto show? Did you read the Crypto miniseries?
I read the first issue and then I didn't continue it because the Mike Norton art didn't do a ton for me.
Okay.
But that said, like, Ryan North writing Crypto was fun. I like Crypto as a character. I'm not gonna say no to a fun. I heard it was like going to be like very Looney Tunesy.
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind like a zanier, less dialogue heavy, and more just kind of like
I mean, he's a dog. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, he's just doing
He
shit.
should be doing dog stuff.
He's doing dog things.
I hope he hangs out with all the other, like, super pets.
I know, because
Yeah.
the Supergirl's got a pet now, too.
There should be a kangaroo from Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Kangaroo.
Bat Cow.
Bat cow.
Let's do it. Damian Wayne should be in it.
I do hope the one bit of like violence that we get is just the shot from Batman Incorporated where Damian's like soaked in blood from the slaughterhouse where he rescued the cow.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "This is Bat Cow," and the cow goes, "Moo."
And Batman, like, face palms in the background.
Yeah. I could get behind that.
Those are great Batman comics. Let's talk about Supergirl, because that's
Yeah.
kind of big superhero industry news. I haven't seen it. You two saw it on Sunday?
On
Saturday?
Thursday.
Okay.
Pearl, I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, I
'Cause
actually
we
do
talked
too.
about it.
Well, I mean, I've been looking forward to it ever since Woman of Tomorrow, Bill Quizevely, Tom King came out. Learning that was going to be a movie was very exciting. I am not as online as I guess I think I am, because everybody's apparently trash talking this movie.
We'll talk about
and being
that.
mad about, the woman playing Supergirl or something.
Casey apparently really does not like her. I don't
She's
know
really
anything about her.
cutie pie.
I know, she seems cute to me.
Yeah, she's cute. She's a
She
great
gets a lot of
performer.
flack, I guess.
Yeah, she gets a lot of shit.
We got there. I think it dropped on like Friday. We got there on Saturday.
No, we were there on Thursday because movies like say they release on Fridays,
Oh,
but they like do
Thursday.
that like Thursday night. Most theaters will still show it anyway.
So we basically watched it opening night. We were the only people in the theater except for like a really drunk guy in the background
That's really weird.
who was very enthusiastic about the dog.
Mhm.
Every time
Oh,
that dog came on
Krypton?
screen, he was like, "Yes, I love that dog."
That's a great way to watch a Supergirl movie.
And then someone was definitely mad about him not being home yet, because there was also a part of the movie where he was just ranting on the phone, like, "Babe, I swear I'm at the movie theaters. I am watching the Superman movie."
I'm not with other women. I'm with Supergirl.
Yeah.
He said it's fine if she's a Kryptonian.
So, I was shocked that there was no one in the theater. I guess it, like...
Yeah, that's weird. What theater were you at?
Regal Jack London. It's
Well,
not like a tiny theater.
Yeah, that's
either.
that's a normal.
We tried to go to Grand Lake, but they were closed.
Oh, it's because they're transphobic.
I know.
I just think it's so interesting that every superhero movie featuring a female protagonist seems to mysteriously have all these, like, experience ruining issues that, all the other mediocre superhero movies don't seem
It
to have.
Well, it's
Literally
weird because
is a
society
fine
loves
movie.
women.
It's like
Historically.
any other, like, major Marvel film or superhero movie. This is of the caliber of all of them, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, because I feel like when the Batman hit and the Superman movie hit, both of those had so much hype behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I was hyped for this one. I didn't realize people weren't that hyped.
I was
for
really
this.
hyped for it too. I
Yeah.
I couldn't understand why people weren't talking about
No, because
it.
it was a spin-off from the Superman movie, and everybody fucking loved that. So it was supposed to be like an easy, like a home run for the
Yeah.
studio or whatever.
They definitely are missing some things from the book that are disappointing, but I don't know. Did Lobo need to be in there? Not really, but
Oh yeah, I saw that Lobo was in it. Is
He's
that
like-
Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa, he's in it like a shockingly tolerable amount. He's in like 4 scenes.
I like Jason Momoa.
No, and he's good. He's good in the role too. Like it's probably the most tolerable Lobo's ever been. Because he just is kind of like there, and he kind of does a couple things, and it's fine. Like he doesn't. It's not overdone. I was kind of shocked by the level of restraint they had with Lobo.
Yeah, I wonder if they dialed it back.
I
After-
pray that they're not doing a Lobo movie.
Oh. I feel like the series is not getting the comic is not getting good enough response. Because I feel like a lot of times the studios use the comics to test out the
Yeah.
market waters for film adaptations, and I feel like nobody was really that excited for Lobo.
No.
Everyone's just kind of like vaguely annoyed by him.
Yeah.
Because he's too snarky.
Yeah, he's too
It's-
too Deadpool at a Kiss concert.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Jason Momoa does slay it though.
I love
very
Jason
good.
Momoa. He
Is
seems
a
like a
slut.
very nice guy too.
Yeah.
Like
would
he just
smoke
seems
out.
kind of chill. Oh yeah,
Definitely would smoke out.
I liked the movie. I had fun. There were some deeply insane needle drops that I think Mr. Gunn is very good at. There were cool aliens.
Okay, there were aliens.
There
That's
were
like
so
that's
many
important.
cool aliens.
Yeah.
There's a whole scene of like a space bus and like everybody on the bus is like a different alien race. It's awesome.
Well, that sounds fun.
I had so much fun. I liked it. We,
Close the door. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I don't know. What do you think, Persephone?
I mean, like, not super dissimilar to what you said. Like, I think the movie has some pretty serious issues. But and probably the worst one is they looked at what it is kind of unforgivable. They looked at Bilquis Evely and Matthias Lopez's art and thought, make that brown, make that more and more brown, a little bit of orange, a little bit of blue, and more.
Yeah, that is a
brown.
bummer. Well, it's weird because James Gunn's Superman is pretty colorful.
Yeah. And it's not Gunn directing too. Like, it should be said that it's like
Yeah.
Craig Gillespie or something who did like one of the Flash movies.
Right,
So-
but Gunn's definitely like a major like he's definitely got his fingers in those pies.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like I wish that from what it sounds like I wish he maybe had more to do with
Yeah.
the movie rather than less, but
Yeah. I wish he had more to do with it too. And so, like, while this movie does have some pretty significant issues, and I wouldn't say it's like good, I had fun, crucially. And to Pearl's point, it is exactly like as good as like 95% of any like superhero movie has been since 2008. Like, it is as good as or probably better than Iron Man. Which
Okay.
is like and the only reason it's getting this level of hate and disinclination
is it as
is
good
misogyny.
as or better than Iron Man 3? Because Iron Man 3 is a sleeper hit. That shit's really good.
I
It's
liked Iron Man 2 with like a lot of robots and Don Cheadle.
Wait, is Iron Man
Was Iron Man 2 or 3 the one where they adopted Extremis?
Extremis was 3.
was
Okay,
That
no,
was the-
I
that
yeah.
was the-
I
No,
like
2 was the one with the suits flying
yeah,
around.
with the
and-
board with
With the guy
from The
who, like-
Wrestler.
Okay, honestly,
Not Norman Rock with Sam Rockwell, and he dances.
honestly, I think a lot of the hate for the second 2 Iron Man movies is based on us being spoiled on the first generation of Marvel movies not being complete.
Wait,
ass.
which Iron Man is the one with the guy with the whip?
2.
Okay, Iron Man 3 is like really good then.
Yeah, number 3 is
Like
pretty
Iron
good.
Man 3 is really solid.
Yeah.
The dude who breathes fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has like really good action directing. Yeah.
The Shane Black one.
It's been a while since I've seen Iron Man 3, so take it with a grain of salt, but probably within the same ballpark.
Okay.
Because again, as many problems as I have with it, I do think the needle drops are pretty bad. Also, Millie Alcock is excellent. Like, she's like
Wait, the needle drops are bad or good?
the needle drops are bad.
Oh.
But they did Wet Leg. We love Wet Leg.
Okay, Wet
Yeah.
Leg was like the one that was like that I thought.
So
was
you
alright.
hate Wet Leg?
Well, like, I'm more of a dry thigh girl.
Weird take.
Yeah, weird take.
Downvote.
Okay, bit aside. Sorry, my Ben Shapiro impression aside. Yeah, Millie Alcock's great. Like, she anchors the entire movie. Her performance is probably one of the best in these types of movies, again, since 2008. She's fantastic. I love to see her. And, like, honestly, the entire response to this movie and the hatred of her is just, like, a really virulent misogyny.
Yeah, I feel like whenever one of these movies comes out that has like a prominent female role,
Yeah.
so much of the hate comes out, and I just honestly like I feel like you should discount like 85% of
Yeah.
it. And I think this is true for like women-led comics too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also
like,
video games.
Yeah, women-led video games, like any kind of like nerd media, especially nerd media.
Yeah.
If there's hate surrounding it and it's woman-led, a huge portion of it is probably discountable as misogyny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and extremely here too, because like on top of the usual level, I think they feel very emboldened by the present moment, and it's been virulent. Like even for nerds, it's been very, very heavy. And I think a lot of that is like Millie Alcock has kind of, as an actress, has realized that she's in a zero-sum game with these freaks of nature, and has kind of like poked them a couple of times because she's like, I'm not gonna
awesome.
because she's awesome, and she knows that like kowtowing to them, she's not going to like
you're not gonna get their approval. They're
Yeah.
just gonna like think you're pathetic too.
So she's like, if they're gonna be like monstrous to me anyway, I might as well just like make fun of them
Like
a little
I'm
bit.
literally Supergirl.
Yeah. She's so relatable.
You're just
for
some
real.
incel. Like
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And she brings so much to the role, but people just can't stand to see like a little blonde white girl who's not like extremely sexually available to them, because the movie doesn't like sexualize her at all, and she just like is a person.
Yeah, and Supergirl has weathered these storms many times. I mean,
Yeah.
she died and stayed dead for a good like 30 years after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and many characters died in that event, and none of them stayed dead except for her.
Yeah.
Like, she was just kind of like thrown in the garbage by DC and comics history
Yeah.
for literal decades. Like, imagine if DC had just been like, we just don't want Dick Grayson in a Batman comic anymore for like 30 years or something.
Hard
Like,
to imagine.
It is kind of crazy. She's got a major movie right now.
Yeah.
I know. I'm happy about it. It's
Like
amazing.
Tim
Yeah.
Gunn's so good at that, like pulling out characters that like you don't expect.
Is there a Metamorpho movie coming out? I hope there's a Metamorpho movie
That'd be
coming
fucking
out.
I think they announced it, but they don't have any like release date
Any-
or
They
any
announced
info on
it?
it.
Put me on.
I think they either announced or suggested that they were interested in doing it. I'm not sure, but I'm in. Yeah, we're all in. And that's the thing about like this movie is that, again, even with all the problems that I have with it, it is like still fundamentally like a better direction than almost any superhero movie of either company since 2008. Like, it's nice to see a movie that at least like Gunn's DCU like care about these characters, like,
Yeah.
and not be embarrassed of the source material.
Because he really is just a nerd.
Yeah.
Like, he just... I can't speak to his character at all, because I think he, like, very purposely kind of, like, doesn't make himself as a human being clear to the world, which I think is fine. Like, I think
Yeah.
if you're famous, you're entitled to just be like, you don't get to know anything about me as a person.
Yeah.
But at the very least, he's, like, definitely, like, a geek,
Yeah.
you know? And he seems like maybe not an evil geek.
Yeah. He
Not
seems
a
like
geek
a
for
decent,
evil.
at least like a halfway decent person to be around. Maybe.
Yeah, not a Joss Whedon.
Not a Joss Whedon. Yeah.
I think that's like maybe all I have for comics news. What do you got? Do you have anything else? Otherwise, I can do my little show and tell moment.
I feel like there was, but I can't even think of what it is, and I'm blanking. So I'd love some show and tell.
If it comes up, we can always circle back.
Yeah.
So this show and tell, The Escapist, we tabled at the Berkeley Comics Show, for the first time in 10 years, since 2016.
Oh wow, that was that long.
Yeah, it was that long. People were shocked we were there. And so the Berkeley Comics Show, mostly like old Silver Age issues and stuff. Got to see some like really cool old comics. Like I got to see my second ever copy of ASM number 6, which was pretty cool. I hadn't seen one since high school.
Which one is number 6 again?
I think it's first appearance of Lizard.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And that was neat. If I'm wrong, the comments will get me, but that's okay. No one will comment. But I went shopping in like the 50% off in the dollar bin section, just for like fun stuff. I had like $25, and I was like, I had like $25 of cash, and I was just like, I guess I'll just spend this because it's not attached to my bank account.
Girl math.
And I was looking for Kirby stuff, as I always am at these things. and I found some really good stuff. So we're gonna do show and tell. You can't see, but we're gonna ooh and ah. Oh, this I got for Persephone. I think she'll really like this.
Oh my god.
It's a first issue of the second run of Doom Patrol.
Oh.
Fuck.
So this is before Morrison started writing it. There's like 10 issues, 15 issues maybe, written by
Paul Kupperberg. Right?
yeah, Paul Kupperberg. And that's where a lot of the kind of that's where Dorothy is created, is in this run. So this is the first issue of that, which is pretty cool. I was digging around. People had very few issues of Doom Patrol, unfortunately. There was some volume 1. Oh, this isn't yours. I just got it because I wanted you to look at it.
Sorry. I misunderstood what you had
Love
said.
you, though.
I thought you had said for me, so I misunderstood.
No,
my bad.
I bought it because I thought you'd appreciate it.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Funny. You're good. And then I got this Swamp Thing, which is it's an egg. It's an evil egg cover of Swampy Tea.
Is this the fucking Vampire Mermaids issue?
Yeah, this is from the only arc that I think is genuinely scary from Swampy Tea. And it's got this egg guy coming out. Shockingly, not the Mpreg egg issue of Swamp Thing, because that's Nancy Collins. And I found a bunch of really cool Kirby stuff, including this early issue of Sandman.
Hell yeah.
Which is missing the ads. This is a Marvel's Greatest Comics, but it's Kirby Fantastic Four with no cover on it.
That's kind of cool.
And then I got some Demon.
Oh, that whips.
This is really sick. You should look through this when I'm here. I'll hand this over to you.
The Clarion the Witch Boy's tiger on that, like being like a fire tiger, is awesome.
Yeah, Clarion the Witch Boy plays significantly in it, and it's really cool. And then I got these before we went to the show. These are from here, and we have more of them in the store if you're interested. They're all very reasonably priced, but they're issues of Mr. Miracle by Jack Kirby. And they're all super cool. This one's got some kind of crazy damage. But I love Hyman in the Fourth World. And then also, the covers are just great. Like this one where, this is number 13. He's, tied to the train tracks. And he's got a baddie, running towards him. I miss when comic covers had word balloons on them. Stop him. He'll never free himself in time. He's committing suicide. They're just so excellent. And it's really cool to kind of, have this Kirby stuff here. And, you can buy it and collect it. All of this is collected in... DC's Finest stuff, or there a bunch of it's in omnibus form as well. But it's just cool having the comics too. I think it's it gives you a greater understanding of kind of the history of it. It really feels like you're kind of holding this artifact, in a really cool way. But I think my favorite thing that I bought is that Demon book. It was just so cool, such a good find. But they hold it every 2 months or something, so I would definitely recommend going.
Okay.
Because you can just find some really amazing shit. For pretty affordable too. Again, I bought 7 or 8 vintage Kirby comics, and I only spent $20 or something.
That's not bad at all. These are some killer finds.
And a lot of them are half price, and so it's really good if you're interested in collecting a little bit, but don't actually want to be a collector or spend collector money, because I'm not a collector either. I just like old Kirby comics, and I was working there, and I was I'll just look around, and I mean the show also had some shit that was $5,000, super expensive, rare, early Fantastic Four, and all of the stuff that you expect to be pricey as hell. But if you're a bin digger like me, a bargain hunter, it's got some good shit for you.
This is totally unrelated to comics, but it's show and tell. My friend works at a veterinary place, and he sent me videos of his boss's little pig. Who's a
Pig?
What's the puppy of a pig? A baby?
Piglet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm dumb. But yeah, wait, is it not? Yeah, it's playing.
This is big news.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little baby.
Excellent addition.
Wait, what do you do for work, Aldo?
Right now, nothing.
Okay, lit.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was glad that I got to show these to you. I thought you'd be excited because of the demon, and Jack Kirby.
Aldo made these incredible, like, handmade kind of cutout little figures, and so he made one that was the absolute Martian Manhunter holding a flower, and then he and I collaborated on one, art by him, words by me, of the demon, and it says "Hickory Dickory Dock, on my way to suck Constantine's cock." Because bisexual John Constantine is a fact, and I feel like we just need to, like, lay this down. I mean, like, he was like scissoring with the fucking
Scissoring?
with the Spectre. He was boy scissoring with the
I don't know
Spectre.
what that means.
Ooh,
I don't know
boy
what those
scissor.
words mean.
He was in fucking Rick Veitch's Swamp Thing in the new Swamp Thing '89. He was boy scissoring with the Spectre. I'm just saying.
Soizering?
Well, I
Soy-
just got
soy-
a terrible idea.
Oh no, tell me about your terrible idea related to boy scissoring.
Well, because I'm in a band called Scissoring, and there's another band called Boy Switch, and we should form a supergroup and call it Boy Scissoring.
That's a great idea. I don't know what you mean bad idea. That's a wonderful idea. That's incredible.
Oh my god, I'm gonna call Elsa after the podcast.
Please update us next week with the development. Friend of the pod, Elsa. But I could just, like, yeah, Aldo, back to, like, Aldo's amazing art. It's wonderful and beautiful. He's making another one for Walter of Swampy Tea and Absolute Martian hugging each other. And it's going to be a little Valentine's card. It says it's easy being green with you.
Aww.
What a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aldo, you're single. If anyone's
Yeah,
interested.
it sounded like I was making a Valentine's Day card for Walter because we're together. I think Walter has someone else.
Walter does in fact have
Yeah.
someone else. Yeah. Ladies, Walter is not single. Or gentlemen.
True. Not single, not ready to mingle, locked in.
Yeah. Walter's got a career in television production to think about.
That's very
Nice.
true. Truly, truly one of the most talented of us.
So he's not interested.
So back off!
Yeah. He's mine. I mean, he's
He's the star.
Do we have anything else to show and tell? I think this is a segment we should do again. Also, by the way, I think this is.
I mean, I don't know if we always have things to show and or tell.
I
But
mean-
if we do, we can always do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if we do.
Can I just show the cool covers that I received today?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, Persephone found this X-Men United cover, which is just all the bad bitches of the X-Men posed up together. And, you know, that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Gwenpool and Jeff the Landshark cover that was actually for Pearl, but I was like, Pearl, I want it. And she was like, okay. But it's a Deadpool book. And I was going to read it before the pod, so I can be like, I read this just because I like the cover. But I didn't.
It's
But
like Deadpool number 6? What is it?
Wade Wilson Deadpool, number 6.
Oh, of course.
Legacy
Wilson, Deadpool,
356.
number 6.
Okay, I did peek inside, though. Better than average Deadpool art in this book.
Yeah, because they brought Alex Linz in, which is like that's like bringing in like somebody who's like a real chef to make garbage. Like it's like because you flip through like most Deadpool comics and they look like shit, but then like bringing Alex Linz in, who's like an actually very talented like cartoonist. I remember opening this book when I was doing the polls and being like, they would kill you for cooking like this on a Deadpool art. Like, unless you're Dan Mora for that one, like, Batman Deadpool crossover, and even that was, like, not the best Dan Mora.
Yeah, like, I'm not reading any of the words as I flip through this book, but all the pictures are so pretty.
I honestly think Deadpool is best read if you're not reading the words.
Yeah.
Like, you can
Yeah.
understand everything that's going on in a Deadpool comic and probably enjoy it more without reading it.
Genuinely. If you want to check out some of Alex Linz's art, he did a Black Label Plastic Man book called Plastic Man No More that's very good.
That looked so scary.
It's like, it's kind of upsetting.
yeah,
it's like, Plastic Man's, like, fucking dying. Like, he's, like, his, like, molecules that hold his plastic self together are decaying, and he, like,
Oh yeah, that looked spooky as hell.
goes to his son and he's like, hey son, like my shit, like I know that I've been a deadbeat piece of shit dad, like my shit's cooked, but like you've got to help me find a cure because apparently this thing is like hereditary and like you're gonna be cooked when you're my age. So like let me do this one good thing for you. Like Detective Chimp and the Metal Men both play a much bigger role in this book than you expect them to.
yeah.
It
How
fucking
delightful.
rocks. It's really good. Check it out.
And then the third delightful cover I got today was Cyclops, and I did read this. I'll talk about it whenever we talk about what we read. But I got the cover because it features Cycrotch. Scott Summers crouched down, looking very seductive.
Ooh.
You know, and I don't know. I might be a Scott fucker. I'm not normally bisexual, but
You'd sigh that clock.
I would sigh that clock.
It just-
Okay, all Cyclops or specific eras of Cyclops?
Or
These are the...
just
specific
watch out Cyclops.
specific
I mean-
artists who draw Cyclops, like I would have to like make an informed like a spreadsheet to like list how I feel about different artist depictions of Cyclops because I have very strong feelings.
Show and tell
Cyclops
next week.
artist rankings.
Show and tell next week, Acacia.
Who's this
Like
artist?
when he just looks like
That's a
Vin
Vincenzo.
Diesel.
That's Federico.
Vin Diesel.
It's Federico Vincenzi, I think. He was one of the two artists on
There's way more X-Men in that book than I thought. I thought
on
they were
fucking
mostly
what's
Scott.
Imperial.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the two artists on Imperial.
yeah.
He's one of the few like
Um,
pretty talented artists in Marvel stable right now, or like consistently like well colored and
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Did you say it was Vincenzo Riccardi?
on the cover.
On the cover.
Not the
Like the
interiors.
interiors, because that's
The-
crazy.
Oh, Vincentini, my bad.
Oh, Vincent. Oh, okay. I see.
Okay.
But yeah, just to put it shortly, Scott Summers should look like a very tired dad who is somehow still very fuckable. He needs bags under his eyes. He needs some stubble. You know,
His very not visible eyes.
He needs some like friction burn on his chest from where he was rubbing it with Wolverine. All that like hair just frayed his shit a little bit.
that part. You know. Many battle scars from many
I mean-
situations with Wolverine, sexual and non-sexual. Those
cra-
boys have been through it.
The Krakoa era had them sharing a bedroom. Like
Yeah.
there was no way around that one.
Oh yeah,
They were
Yeah.
fucking in the Krakoan era.
Jean was the top, obviously.
Oh yeah, the Phoenix strap goes crazy.
No, yeah, it seriously does.
Every time he gets pegged, he hears the X-Men '92 theme. They're like da 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 da. That's what getting pegged by Jean Grey is like.
Is the part where he comes.
Da 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 da. It's like.
Okay, guys.
Oh, that's something we didn't talk about. Is the new animated season is out?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it came out today, right?
Yeah, today I gotta go home and watch it, but
We can watch
When
that
is the
before we
season,
start battle.
season 2.
Did like just one episode come out, or is the whole season out?
It's
Did you-
probably just one
Go home.
episode,
Probably.
I think they're doing it weekly.
but
That's how they did it
it's
last
Disney
year, right?
Plus. So.
Yeah,
Oh, I think
more
I
more
know.
shows are doing it weekly now because
That's good.
they were like the streaming all at once thing was not a good idea. We got to start slowly
Yeah.
wheeling
And
that
every
back.
time they do the like binge drop thing, it's like
Uh.
proof of concept that it doesn't work because it
Yeah.
stays in the dialogue for like a week at most, and then everybody moves on.
Yeah, like me getting to tune into fucking the Terror, Devil in Silver, and Widow's Bay the last like couple of months. I was like, it was so nice to come home and be like, I'm gonna watch the show that makes me fucking miserable, and I'm gonna come home and watch the show that makes me very happy.
I forgot about Terror, Devil. My God, the title fucks me up.
It's
with-
rancid.
It's the Dan Stevens one, right?
It's the Dan
Yeah.
Stevens. They love locking that boy up in mental hospitals. For
Yeah,
those in the
they
know,
do.
he was the guy who played Legion in the really, really excellent Noah Hawley show. We won't talk too much about that show because it's not that kind of podcast. But if you want like a horror show that like does not fuck around in the least, it's based off a Victor Lavelle novel, and he like ran the show too. CCH Pounder's in it. Dan Stevens is in it. Stephen Root is in it. For those in the know, he's Finn's dad in Adventure Time, among many, many things. He's in like 1,000 movies. And yeah, Widow's Bay is good. But anyway, sorry. We were talking about Cyclops' fuckability. Was that where we were?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was really a tangent. I was mostly saying this cover is really good, and I also read the interior, and it was surprisingly good.
Yeah, talk to us about Cyclops.
Yeah.
So Cyclops as a character is fascinating because on the surface he's so boring and straight laced and a rule follower and enforcer and just the ultimate, just boring little soldier boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you really get into it, there is so much pathos and neurosis behind this behavior.
Yeah.
Like, he is this way because he needs to be this way because he is very, very mentally ill.
Yeah.
And very traumatized, you know.
Indubitably.
So this book, like, kind of dips into that a little bit. You know, it starts with him talking to... No, it starts with an action scene with a bunch of the other X-Men to get you hooked in or whatever. Whatever. And then it moves on to a scene where he's, like, talking to the director of the orphanage where he grew up and is, like, getting filled in on the traumas of his past that he's blacked out, you know, and...
Classic stuff.
Yeah. But it's, like, ultimately, I don't know. Scott is, like... he struggles to be a human, you know, which is a relatable struggle for many.
Autistic King Cyclops.
Honestly, though, yeah. Like he allows himself to be a tool and a mechanism and, you know...
A weapon.
Because he needs to have that purpose, he needs to have... you know, a job, he needs to have a mission, because if he doesn't, he has to be alone with himself. He has to reckon with who he's become and why he has. And ultimately, he cannot do that, you know? And so he's always just acting out, like, all of these kind of, like, fucked up traumas he's been through, and he's, like, you know, recurring these behaviors, these maladjusted behaviors that he's learned over time. And that's ultimately the source of, like, most of his good, like, character writing and, like, conflicts with teammates and stuff. Yes, there is a deer in this book, and it is very, very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this book looks interesting so far, which is good. It's, written by Alex Pacnato, who... is one of those names I've heard a lot, so I'm sure I've read some of his stuff, but I couldn't put my finger on what. But, yeah, for an issue 1, this is making me like, okay, I want to read a little bit more. Because I was just talking earlier, off camera, or off microphone, whatever we're on.
The record.
Off the record, about how there's so many fucking X books now, and a lot of them are solo titles, and I find it really hard to give a fuck about them, even when they're featuring characters I really like, because the X line is, like, such a mess right now that there's no, like, it's very, like, every book is as good as its creative team, in a way, you know?
Yeah,
And
I kind of feel like it needs someone to, like, shepherd it. Like, someone needs to, like, take charge the way that Hickman did.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be Dennis Camp. I don't know who it needs to be, but, like, someone's got to cull the herd a little bit, and then also just, like, decide where the X-Men are going.
Someone just needs to do this at Marvel generally too, because like like as a broader line, there's just no direction right now. Even when there's good.
I feel like Marvel Nightmares is good direction.
No.
I mean, weirdly with the X line, I think they are trying to do that though.
Okay.
I also browsed through X-Men United a little bit earlier. That was the cover with all the X-ladies looking spectacular. Yeah, I'm reading through this book, and the concept of X-Men United is essentially like it's the new school for gifted youngsters, but it's not being. This seems to honestly be like a spin-off of Eve Ewing's Exceptional X-Men, which I've also read some of, but I'm not current on.
She's writing this one too, right?
She's writing this one as well, yes.
I think this is the sequel miniseries to, because so many things are miniseries. I think this is the miniseries follow-up to Exceptional. I think
that's an ongoing. I'm pretty sure United is because like.
Yeah, I think they're both ongoing. Which
like Exceptional, I don't think there's a spin-off. I think Exceptional just like became this. But it's the same writer.
Is this like where they changed Incredible Hulk to Infernal Hulk and and Mortal Thor,
or like
Thor
a fucking Sword X-Men Red sort of situation?
The little bit I read of Exceptional X-Men was like Kitty's in Chicago and she's met some young mutants and she's like, should I teach them? And Emma Frost shows up and she's like, we're gonna teach them, and they're teaching them out of like a dance, like a ballet studio kind of.
Yeah.
And then Emma's like, or maybe everyone's like, maybe we should have an actual more formal like place with it's not just like a dance floor with a mirror. And so Emma makes her like mind palace, and anyone can go there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, flipping through this book is interesting. Really, all the X books I've been reading lately, because I'm noticing that they do actually want to have a cohesive thing going on. Mm-hmm. Like, all these books are full of those little goofy classic comic book tropes where they're just like, and then this and that happened. See classic X-Men number 41 through 42, you know, to pull an example out of the Cyclops book. You know, so they want you to be tuned into it all, and it's all trying to tell a cohesive story.
Yeah, I'm sure all the writers all of the writers in all the individual series also, like, deeply want to be cohesive with one another, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like...
That's hopeful.
It is hopeful, and the fact that they have Eve Ewing kind of taking the lead to a certain extent, like have her on the big team book, which is X-Men United, is good, because I really like Eve's writing and her character work. Mm-hmm. You know, also I spoke about it the last time I was on this podcast. They don't really let black women in films touch touch X-Men comics like that. So, you know, this is promising, but just looking at the cast page on this book is kind of the problem I'm having with the X-Line right now. It's like, it's broken up into 3 sections. X-Men, student mentors, and students. You know, and each with progressively more and more characters on the list. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot to keep up with, you know? And I'm reading through this book, and I'm just like, oh, this would make sense if I'd read more of Exceptional, and this would make sense if I'd read any of Adjectiveless X-Men, and, you know, like...
Undescribed X-Men.
Yeah, like, they want us to be invested in the line as a whole, but they're not doing anything overall as interesting as Krakoa was.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, when Krakoa, they literally would give you reading orders in each book.
I missed that.
And some of them would be red, and that meant it was a special one you couldn't miss.
Yes, and then you read the red books, and they were actually good
and
most of the time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that changed everything.
Yep. And this era seems to be such a, like, back to basics era, you know. It's like we're doing the school again, and we're introducing a new generation of mutants, and I get it, like, this is the life cycle of X-Men comics, and, you know, for a line that's been around for decades and decades like this has, like, there's a larger pattern to the thing than, like, individual editorial mandates or individual, like, you know, creative teams. Like, it's a larger life cycle, and we are at the point where we've done something new and interesting and different, and now it is just time to be reborn. Yeah. You know, and...
Well, it's just so weird to be, like, going back to basics, too, but you still have, like, 25 X titles, you know? Like,
yeah.
I wish at the very least going back to basics meant, like, making it a good, like, jumping in point for potential new X-Men readers, so that, like, you have people invested who weren't already invested for when, like, you do the next Krakoa or something. Yeah. Because I feel like right now the only people who are reading X-Men are people who have been reading X-Men.
Well, I feel like the thing that distinguishes this from Krakoa, well, there are many things, but in regards to what you're saying, Tate, I think the fact that Krakoa started with Powers and House of X, and that was a very, like, concise, cohesive, like, this is what we're doing with this era. Mm-hmm. So then when they dropped, you know, I think it was, like, 5 titles at first, and then it expanded to, like, 12 or something. I'm making up the numbers, but, you know, that type of exponential growth. But,
They onboard... Sorry.
Yeah, like, gave us an onboarding process, and it's like, yeah, you had the House and Powers, then you had the first few series, which were all very, like, at the center of what was happening, and then later they gave us all the random, you know, bullshit, but, like, yeah, this era wants you to be invested like that, but without the House and Powers jumping on point, and I read the number ones of all the current series, and they're each doing such a different thing, and they each have such a different creative voice to them, and it's very much kind of like the natural way to approach it is to latch on with what you like, to what you like, and for me it's like, that's been reading... Cycrotch in this case.
Cycrotch really pulled you in.
But mostly it's like Eve Ewing and Gail Simone's writing, because I've seen them do really good stuff with other characters in and out of the X-Men circle. And I'm just like, okay, can have patience with you long enough to see where you're going with this, you know?
Yeah, enough faith for once, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, but all these books expect you to be reading the others. And the crossovers are awkward. Like, I was reading the second Storm trade the other day, and the first issue was this tie-in to the raid on Greymalkin, and it was like, and now, you know, Maggot's there, and we're gonna confront Cyclops and his team of X-Men, and blah, 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 blah. And then you get to the end of the comic, and it's like, okay, now go read the event book. And then issue 2 of the trade is like, meanwhile, in Storm things are happening, and I'm just like, ugh, what a waste of time. I could have not read that.
They're like doing a cross, or like a couple of the X-Men titles, I think specifically Regular X is doing a crossover with Infernal Hulk.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing that, and then they're going to jump into DNX, which is their Terrigen Mist 2. There's just too many, like... I mean, this is always a problem.
We
with
did
comic
need
books.
another Terrigen Mist.
Yeah, thank God. Terrigen Mist 2. We're gonna make Miss Marvel
An old mutant.
Yeah. I was gonna say Inhuman, but fuck it. She'll be an old mutant. Old woman Kamala. Fuck it. Whatever.
They have done that.
Okay,
I rather like Old Woman Kamala. I forgot what fucking series it was in.
I will
you're
say,
right, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
she's always been an Inhuman.
Yeah.
That was like from G. Willow Wilson's run. Just saying.
Yes.
As someone who's read it, she always has been an Inhuman. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, I think she is still Inhuman, but
No, she's also a mutant.
But
now.
she's just
both
also
now.
she goes both ways.
Yeah.
And they have her out here now. We've talked about it on
She
the
does have
cast
a lesbian
before,
best
being
friend.
like, look, I know I've never experienced depression before as a Pakistani Muslim woman in the United States, but now that I'm a mutant,
Yeah.
I understand.
Wolverine
In
calling
post
about
in
depression.
post 9/11 America, I know what it is to be hated and feared now.
I know. I feel like G. Willow Wilson must have been just like writhing in rage when they were pulling that shit.
I'm trying to imagine like Wolverine sliding a copy of like
Like
White Like Me
or something.
no, he's definitely a White Like Me guy. Like he's on Tim Wise shit. He's on 101 shit. He's not pulling Franz Fanon.
Oh, really? I feel like he is. He's like a radical militant revolutionary.
I think depending on the writer. I think depending on the writer. Like I would say there are some Wolverines who are absolutely like have read
Yeah.
every Franz Fanon.
I would say like the best analogy to what I kind of wish the X-Men titles were right now is what the Bat titles have very consistently been, which is they've managed to kind of preserve the importance of like the main 2 titles while also like making it so that you can enrich your experience by reading the other Bat family titles. Like you can be just like a Batman reader or just a Detective Comics reader or be reading both. And like having read a bunch of like full runs at this point of various Batman and Detective Comics, like you like if you read them in omnibus form, they'll include any of the crossovers, but like you really don't need to have read the crossovers to understand what's happening in any of them. And I feel like that's something that DC has largely managed to preserve really well editorially. And I think like what it allows you to do is like be subscribed to like 1 or 2 titles a month, and then have stuff where you're like, okay, like Dan Waters is writing Nightwing now, and like I like Dan Waters and I like Nightwing, but I like couldn't give 2 shits about Nightwing not written by Dan Waters right now. But now I can hop in and read Nightwing and like not be totally lost.
Yeah.
And like there's probably as many Bat titles as there are X titles, or like approaching. Like we have a shelf of Bat titles and a shelf of X titles, and people read. There are definitely subscribers who like subscribe to a wide variety of X and Bat titles, but it really does feel like the X-Men has like lost the editorial like sort of centralizing force of like, okay, like hopefully you should just be able to read like X-Men and Uncanny, or like in the case of Krakoa, like House and Powers, you know, and like you should be able to be like, I really like Cyclops, so I'm gonna subscribe to like X-Men and Cyclops or whatever, and like not feel like I'm being fucked over because I like don't have money for 20 titles a month or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I really feel for people whose, like, wallets are hurting because they're, like, desperately trying to keep up with whatever's happening in the X-Men right now, too.
Yeah.
I'm just like, girl, like, how do you do it? Like, all X titles? Like, that's so much money. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's
It's a labor of love.
It kind of bothers me on an ethical level, though, because it's just like, they're prioritizing pushing sales numbers over cohesive storytelling. Maybe this isn't ethics, but like,
No, it is.
it's
Yeah.
this thing where it's just like, you're selling us a lesser product because you want us to buy more product.
Yeah, you want us to buy more shit.
Yeah.
And people aren't stupid.
Like, why did they
people-
put the crossover issue in the Storm trade? Just leave that one out, because I'm not buying the fucking Raid on Grey Mulligan trade. I just am not.
That's why I
you
felt
know?
I was reading the James Tynion Batman comics, and there's like a solid like 150, 200 pages of like Tom King Batman bullshit at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because they like, you need it to like set up Tynion's run. Like, you absolutely don't.
No.
But you like convinced me to pay an extra $25.
Same with the
You
Rom
know.
V Swamp Thing omnibus. Is like all the Rom V Swamp Thing stuff, excellent. But then in the back half, they're like, here's Future State, and then here's a Curse of Brimstone one shot that Rom V didn't even write.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't want to fucking read about Brimstone. I
Well,
don't care.
To your point too about people not like the readers not being stupid. Like, I don't know any X-Men fans who are like not aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I think there are a lot of like other comics readers who are just like such intense fans that they're just like I know like Absolute Batman readers are just like totally blinded by their rabid fandom of Absolute Batman, which is totally fine. Like, I'm happy for them to be that blinded by it. But it's like, you can't be a long-term X-Men fan and be blind to what's going on with the X titles. One, because you'd just be broke, and like you'd be reading so much shit. But I think there's just like, you have to develop a certain level of like cynicism in order to be like, no, like, I don't need that random like Magic title. Like, I don't read Magic, and the art looks like dog shit. Like, just because the little Stanley word bubble says I have to have read Magic number 13 to understand what's going on doesn't mean I actually have to.
Yeah.
Like,
And people are getting like, people are dropping Marvel titles, and I mean X-Men and Marvel titles broadly, and it's sad. There's just people come in and they, even if they are still picking up X-Men or they're still picking up whatever, like the enthusiasm from a lot of different subscribers is like very palpably flagging.
yeah, I have a lot of respect for X-Men fans. You guys are really in the trenches all the time.
Yeah.
I described it earlier as like, being an X-Men fan works better if you don't expect like good comic books or good storytelling, but if you just want to see your warbles in situations, you know what I mean?
I wish y'all could see Pearl's face right now when Keisha said that. I felt that.
I think they should take all the X-Men. We need to consolidate the story. I think they should put them into a slumlord shared house in a queer part of Portland.
X-Men Punk House, AFAB
X-Men
only
Punk
housing.
House. Yeah.
And then they blow up a bus full of school children and start a civil war.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, yes, but is that a reference to something?
Yes, it's a reference to
Civil
the
War.
Marvel event Civil War, which started with a group of like reformed supervillains doing a reality TV style thing in a house in like New Jersey or something.
Yeah, they're like they're doing like a bounty hunter reality television
Yes.
show.
And I cannot stress enough that it's Cannonball. Like, Cannonball's the one who blows up those kids, and he puts
It's so
himself in like
beautiful.
he puts himself in a full he
so
puts
good,
himself in a
everything.
full body like
It was covered in
chastity.
spikes on the outside, but it was made very clear that there were spikes on the inside.
Yeah.
It was so edgy, but it was actually like good. It was like edgy, but like also like, oh shit, you just completely transformed this character.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
This isn't a Marvel's What If.
No, they put him in
Marvel
Gimp
Civil
Chastity.
War.
Yeah,
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
They wouldn't do anything this interesting in What If.
No,
Like, the
they
What
wouldn't.
If book this week was like, what if Secret Wars, Ultimate Universe, didn't die. What does that mean? I'm not gonna fucking tell you.
But,
And you flip through and it's nothing. They don't do interesting things on What If. They only do interesting things when they have Cannonball blow up a bus full of school children. In 2007, they turn him into
Why was
fucking
he in
a
the
gimp.
gimp outfit?
Because he felt
bad.
so guilty.
Yeah.
It was like a self-flagellation thing. Like,
called
Yeah,
himself
like,
punish
he changed his
himself.
name.
He was paying penance.
And
Yeah.
Maybe I should read Civil War.
Normal reasons.
you should read Civil War spin-offs, is what I will
Yeah.
say about that.
The spin-offs were really good. Wait, did he? Okay. Did he still like Blast when he was in his? Did he still? Do
Girl,
cannibal
I
stuff?
don't know.
I don't remember.
I
don't know.
I literally don't remember. I just remember the gimp
Yeah,
scene.
and he
Yeah.
was just like
It's
always
really
sad.
memorable.
Yeah, he was
really
like, I
the gimp
killed all those kids. It's my fault. Yeah, it was crazy.
It's crazy because like no one ever talks about that anymore. Like this is the first time I've heard anyone talk about that in so long.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get a group of us like long-term comics perverts on. It's like you get to be like, hey, remember Penance?
Well, okay, is Cannonball in any comics right now? No.
Oh no.
No, he's still in the gimp suit.
They locked him in.
They zipped him.
Trapped.
They zipped it up and then put the padlock.
Is that all we want to say about X-Men? Because I have a crazy transition we could do. But...
No one read X-Men Outback.
I liked
X-Men.
Uncanny.
X-Men Backshot seemed fine.
Like that.
Oh, that's really sweet. I like low-key want one. If you have an extra one, I would low-key want. I low-key want one.
Yeah, I have a few of those sheets of printer things.
Thank
And it kinda
you.
worked at it.
So unless we have anything more to say about X-Men, do we have anything more to say about X-Men?
Wolverine was a werewolf in Uncanny X-Men recently for
yeah.
for like a little teeny tiny bit, and it was cool.
Let him be a hot werewolf.
Yeah.
I need to catch up with that. I was reading a little bit of that earlier.
Can we just mention
you guys-
Cycrotch one more time before we move on?
Could someone grab a pack of resealable thick comics bags?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, say.
I need an emoji.
Magnum Comics.
A little heart.
And reusable. If that's innuendo to you as well.
Wait,
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing with emojis?
Yeah, modern sized.
Text.
Speaking of people in gimpy little outfits, the new Fantastic Four issue
Is that
featuring not Ghost Rider. I won't spoil too much of this, but I have been broadly speaking, obviously broadly negative of like Marvel's direction. That said, I've been very positive about Ryan North and have wanted to check out his Fantastic Four for a second.
Shout out to Dinosaur Comics.
Shout out to Dinosaur Comics, the OG Ryan North comic.
Oh,
And he announced a few months back that they were doing a Fantastic Four issue where Johnny Storm has a beautiful, brilliant idea.
Ooh.
Some of the villains have been fucking with us a little too much, and they're not scared of us because we're like the nice goody two shoes Fantastic Four, but they're scared of Ghost Rider. So like, if I set my head on fire and Sue like makes my skin look invisible, and I've been working on like lighting motorcycles on fire without blowing them up, I can pretend to be Ghost Rider. And that's the entire issue. One Storm pretending to be Ghost Rider, going around to different Fantastic Four villains and trying to like be Ghost Rider at them and like try to convince them that like he's like playing chicken with them about like if he's gonna do his penance stare or not. It's crazy.
That sounds delightful.
It's very fun. It's
Ryan North, you will
Ryan
always be
North is
famous.
so fun right now. He's one of my favorite writers doing superhero stuff right now.
yeah,
Hands down.
he's killing it. Like his
All I
Flash,
read by him is Squirrel Girl, but Squirrel Girl was amazing.
his Flash run is excellent right now. I'm not a Flash girl at all, but like I'm like eagerly subscribed to Flash now.
Oh yeah, his flash
Wow.
is great.
Okay, making Flash interesting is nice.
Hey,
No, but I get where you're coming from. Even as a person who likes the Flash, I feel like the like potential.
nice to him.
I feel like the potential.
friend.
The potential of Flash does not often meet the like execution,
Yeah, I think people don't treat him as a science hero in the way that they should.
and he's infinitely more fun when he's like a silly Silver Age science hero.
Yeah. That being said, guys, Absolute Flash. I finally read the first 2 volumes. It's pretty tight.
I need to catch up.
It's pretty good. The Robo art looks a lot like Danny.
Mm-hmm.
If colored by like it's like if Danny and Jesse Lonergan like teamed up to create a comic.
Oh, wait, is that the Kaplan art? The AJ Kaplan with like the lava monster?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And this is Robo, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very cool though. I'm a huge fan. Excited to see where they go with it.
Hell yeah.
But pleasantly surprised by like what I found in Absolute Flash.
I feel like both Flash and Green Lantern are kind of sleeper hits, and like Flash is a sleeper hit with me. I only read like the first like 5, and then fell off, not because it was bad, but because I just
Had too much stuff to read.
Just had too much stuff to read. But now I kind of want to go back because every time I like start flipping through it again when I do polls, I'm like, oh, I like what they're doing with Grodd, or I like what they're doing with Rogues here.
I know,
this
I like
is
that
kind of
Grodd
interesting.
is like his little monkey friend.
Yeah, his little green dude. He's just a
Also,
little-
him and Grodd's dad are gonna get up to some crazy stuff.
I'm
It's
excited.
teased at the end of Volume 2. There's some exciting stuff that's gonna happen, I think.
Very hype.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What else did we read today?
I read Dead Man number 2.
Oh yeah, talk to us about Dead Man number 2. I have not read it, so try not to spoil it for
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna avoid. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid spoilers. I'm gonna say, with the caveat that I think my only critique of this book being that it's sometimes maybe a little bit too wordy. I think if they took off maybe like 5% on certain pages, that would be good. It's
I
like
think with their writing, sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, cool, like I'm not gonna read all of it. Like some of the like really purple prose stuff in Kryptonite Spectrum, I was like, okay, I get it. Like cool.
I have brainworms and I read it all, so it sometimes did feel occasionally a little bulky.
But
That's
I think you're like not supposed to read it all though, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, and I think I have brainworms. Like, is the problem? You're right, and I know you're right.
I think you're just trying to top when you should be bottoming this comic.
I should be bottoming this comic. Actually, this comic has a little bit of bottom energy. I can't describe that. But no, I think this book is just incredibly fun. I think it's one of my favorite things coming out of DC right now. It's a very silly book. It's a very weird book. It's just a book that's kind of has like a specific tone that I don't think any of the other books in DC's line. It's probably closer to Flash than it is. Like,
Yeah, it's
Then
got
it
some
is.
like Silver Agey stuff that is just so fun.
yeah, there's I won't say, but there's like some very weird deep cut characters that show up in this that I'm like, I haven't seen that guy in like 10, 20, 30 years. Like, that's really fun. And they find really good avenues to bring weird people in. They maybe invent a new guy who's weird and fun. They definitely invent a new guy who's weird and fun. It's just a really good time. Like, it's a beautiful comic. It's very silly.
It's pretty queer.
It's pretty, yeah, it feels pretty queer in a weird way. Like, not in quite the same way that like Zatanna does, but there is a kind of I don't know. Actually, can you speak more on that?
I just feel like there's like the villain is sort of like campily evil in a way that I found very like queer coded. He's got like his coven of like demon women and like the twink that are like sacrificing hot football twinks.
Yeah.
Like there's like stuff there that feels distinctly not straight to me.
Yeah. There definitely is like a camp for absolute sure, like, to this book. Like, there's yeah, like there's some incredible Plastic Man gags in here that are some of the silliest shit I've seen in some time. Like almost Kyle Baker like Plastic Man cover levels of silly shit.
Honestly, I need to read more Plastic Man. Like, of all the characters who I've not read a single panel with them in, Plastic Man I find one of the most fascinating.
If DC
Everything I see of him, just like, you know, just art online and just descriptions of the character, he just seems like such a fun guy.
if DC is listening, and they better be listening to me because I've
Dennis Camp Plastic Man.
that would go crazy.
Yo.
If Dennis Camp and Javier did Plastic Man, I would be fine. I would be so happy.
Wait, can we use that to segue into Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because I don't think I've read Denise Camp's work before, or maybe I have. I don't know. What else has he done?
you read Not a Sorted Crisis, Bleeding Hearts.
Oh, he did. Yes, and
Yeah.
Bleeding Hearts was also excellent.
Yeah, he's a
So,
writer of Bleeding Hearts.
so based on the sample size of 3 issues between 2 books,
You're like 100%
Denise Camp
banger.
is becoming one of my favorite writers by far. I've read one issue. Yeah, I've read one issue of Martian Manhunter so far after months of coming in the store, opening it up, and being like, oh, these are the prettiest pictures I've ever seen, and then not reading the book because I have problems. Different kind of brainworms.
Yeah.
You have the read everything brainworms. I have the read nothing brainworms.
That's fair. We need both types of women to keep balance. That's like, yeah, life and anti-life is too dramatic, but like it's always about the balance, the dualism of it all.
But speaking of a little dramatic, I want to say something that sounds like hyperbole and might be, considering that I've only read one issue of this thing, but like a triumph of the medium.
Yeah,
Does things with the combination of pictures and words and narrative and ideas that I've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like,
They do more shit later that's like even crazier.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah,
It
So I
blows
don't-
my
I don't think I
mind.
have the weather
Yeah.
one.
I don't doubt it. Like, it's so like the pretty pictures are not pointless, which sounds like an obvious thing, but is not always true in our beloved medium of comic books. Sometimes the pretty pictures are just pretty pictures, and the words are words of whatever quality they are, and they relate how they relate, but at the end of the day, there are many, many comic books that I have very separate feelings about the art and the story. I cannot separate my feelings about the art and the story in this book because it is all so integral and well connected, and just like everything's intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like there's some poetry to it, just visually. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything chosen specifically for its, you know, its actual qualities of what it is and what it contributes to the narrative, but also the symbolism of it all, and also like, you know, the feelings, the visceral, like, you know, putting an emotion in your brain via a combination of colors type shit. You know?
There's an enormous visual texture to this work that like, and a synchronicity that when issue 3 was about to come out, Denise Camp like was on Blue Sky and was like, yeah, guys, this is the one where we like really locked in and figured it out. This is where we started cooking. And I was like, Denise, that's crazy.
That's
What are you
crazy.
talking about?
Yeah, I
Like,
remember that.
and then number 3 rolled around and I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Because like 1 and 2 are excellent. They are phenomenal triumphs of the form, and they are already so in sync. And then issue 3, you're like, oh, they like this is their like they 100% locked into each other. They completely
God,
are in sync. They mind melded. They're in sync in a way that like if you read Denise Camp's and Stephen Morian's 20th Century Men, they also meld in that really, really hard, particularly after issue 4. But yeah, like Dennis like is writing for Javier, and Javier is drawing for Dennis. Like this is a completely like, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I'm looking at a page holding it up to these incandescent light bulbs at the top of the store. They're probably LEDs. Who cares? And yeah, the page is designed to be read transparently, and is a complete and coherent image on each side by itself, but putting it together embodies the thesis of the issue that you just read in this way that,
It's really magical what they do with this book.
yeah, you put the pictures together and it puts the ideas together, and that's a very neat magic trick for an artist and writer to put all together.
It really is kind of like the best thing coming out right now, period. Like it's I've said this before, we've all said this, like it must be what it felt like to read some of the like really Swampy Tea, like some of the thank you for introducing the Swampy Tea verbiage to me. I love calling him that now. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was me and Aldo, I think.
Oh, that was you and Aldo
Walter,
who collaborated on that. That's awesome.
Walter calls him that too.
But,
Well, I mean, who?
rapper.
Rap, yeah.
The artist known as rapper. But yeah, this is, to your point, it's just like there's nothing else like this, and has not been for a long time. And it's like it's a crazy thing to think about that like the Absolute line in general is like so rock solid as a whole, but then Martian's over here just doing some like completely different sport like to everything else.
I've probably said this on this podcast before about another book, and it might have been the other Denise Camp book I read. But this makes me want to read comics again. It brings back a genuine excitement for the medium.
Yeah.
You know, and so much I don't know. Like, so much in comics is like, if you've been reading for decades, like most of us have here, it's like you've seen most things before, and you're like, oh, this is a nice riff on that thing that I've seen before. Cool. You know, but something completely new and different and, like, never before seen after 100 years of comics medium development is like, it's like discovering a new molecule, a new particle in physics or something. You're like, whoa, a new one just dropped. Like,
Yeah,
there's a new way to enjoy the comics format. That's amazing.
I think
know?
it really proves that we haven't perfected it at all. Like, we have so much progress yet to be made in this form. Because, I mean, the idea that, like, comics really is, I mean, it is... You can make an argument that it's far more ancient than I think we realize, but I think genuine, like, real comics is actually only like 100 or so years old. Mm-hmm. And that's so young for a medium.
Yes.
And, like, I've been doing trying to read all of Detective Comics' stupid quest. And, like, there's a lot of stuff in early Detective Comics where, like, you can really just explicitly see, like, oh, they didn't know how to do that yet. Mm-hmm. Like, word bubbles will be in the wrong order, and you'll just be like, oh, like, that's because they didn't understand it.
They had to figure that one out,
They just didn't know how to do it so that you knew who was speaking first. So it'll be like the person talking first will be at the bottom, and you'll just be like, oh, okay. It's like looking at, like, old Gothic art or, like, old Dark Ages art and realizing, like, oh, they, like, forgot
listen, that's your phone.
How to do, like, 3 dimensions, you know? And I feel like Dennis Camp is proving how many leaps and bounds we can still make in comics. In a way that just makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
And, like, a DC book.
Yeah.
Which is insane. It's a superhero book.
No, everything about this book, like, reads like an indie. Nothing about this feels like it takes place in a modern superhero universe.
Yeah,
like in like some very popular, like, Absolute universe, you're like, oh, this is its own, and then you see, like, Darkseid's eyes, like, through the cracks, and you're like, oh, this is a DC book. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Absolute Batman appears for, like, one panel in the final issue, and you're like, oh, yeah!
That guy's around.
You guys might know each other.
There's, like, a moment with Absolute Superman showing up in the one panel that's, like, such a beautiful and, like, is the most interesting Absolute Superman has ever been by, like, like, miles, like, light years more interesting than anything.
It's very much like a callback to, like, All-Star Superman or, like, just, like, any of the, like, Morrison Superman stuff. It, like, plays a lot with, like, who Superman really would be and is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this ended the way it did, because it really ended so beautifully and so well, and so kind of cohesively with the kind of emotional and thematic bent of the whole series. You know? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, speaking more on this book, it's like a lot of comics have meant a lot of things to me for I've been reading for a very long time. I don't know if a comic has meant sorry. Didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt them. They were having a convo about Teen Titans. I wanted to know more.
Right.
I'm just, like, not a Teen Titans reader, so I just, like, it's whenever somebody can give me anything on Teen Titans, it's nice to have.
Everything I know about Teen Titans, I learned from Teen Titans Go. And I'm probably not going to change that anytime soon.
I like that Go and not the original one is your vantage point here. I think that's really sweet and beautiful.
Yes.
That's important. But to what I was saying a second ago is, like, a lot of comics have meant a lot of things to me for a very long time. I don't think a comic has meant this much to me, like, personally since arguably maybe Zero.
What about Berserk?
Okay, actually, yeah, sorry, Berserk. Berserk and Rachel Pollack's Doom Patrol, which came out let me phrase that, which I read the same year, are about that for me. But in terms of, like, a single issue, kind of, like, monthly American market shelf comic, like, probably not since Zero has something, like, had such, like, kind of a a profound effect on me, and like part of that is just it came when it did. Like a lot of these themes, for reasons that I just don't feel the need to elucidate on this podcast, like the timeline of these issues dropping and what some of those issues were about, like really struck me in times in my life in which I very much like needed them, in which they like, I don't know, I have been tremendously moved by this book. I have a bunch of the art up on my walls. I'm planning to get, for my 30th birthday, I'm planning to get a Martian tattoo. I'm still like figuring out between a couple options, but like
It's very tattooable art.
very tattooable art. I'm considering either the bit where he smells the rose in this issue, or the bit where it like in the when the America gunman first like threatens him and he's like, "You can't get me, I'm like an idea," and then he shoots at him and it hits him and he does the like his face smears and he does just a little frowny face.
Oh yeah.
Considering that, but a smiley instead.
But yeah, this book,
I'm glad I printed that out.
I'm so happy that it only ran for the 12 issues that it did, because I really think like any more would have been too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was like really indicative of how much creative control Camp and Rodriguez had over this book, which I think also is like really worth celebrating in an era when sort of not even editorial but like corporate desires really dictate a lot of storytelling for comics.
Yeah.
And this is really magnificent. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like DC did the thing that they so rare, or any of these companies so rarely do, and the thing that Karen Berger did so well with Vertigo, which was like recognizing that a creative team was doing something really special, and just kind of allowing it to stay its course and do its thing. Like, it does feel like they did just have like an endless amount of creative freedom to do whatever they really wanted to do. Like, they haven't had to have been really touched by any of the broader like Absolute Universe crossover stuff. Like, even the little bit of crossover that happens here feels very like natural. I was a little bit worried, like, oh, I don't really want these other characters coming in, but
No, sorry. So what I think is really cool is that like you'll see stuff that comes up in Martian Manhunter and other Absolute books.
Yeah.
But never really the other way around. Nothing really
Contaminates.
Yeah.
This never has to be affected by, or never. It's never affected by like what goes on. But there's like they'll call something Bad Idea Zero comes up a lot in Martian Manhunter, and I think when did it come up in?
And this week, Absolute Green Lantern brought up Bad Idea number 0. I won't talk a ton about Absolute Green Lantern. This is just going to be a tiny side note. But, like, Carrie, who was, like, this psychic who got shot some issues back, her, like, psychic force is still alive in the Aether, and, like, Hal Jordan, the Love Lantern, is, like, now stuck between states of life and death, and she appears to him, and she's like, I have some crazy shit to tell you. You gotta tell Joe there is something under everything. Or there's something bigger than everything. There's something big at the center of everything. There's something bigger than that behind that. Bad Idea number 0. You have to tell her right now. Yeah, Absolute Green Lantern is a very weird and probably the closest one could say to Martian that of the line, and that's still like light years of difference. But yeah, anyway, kind of.
Yeah, I read a little bit of Absolute Green Lantern as well, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Also, Joe Mullen is my favorite, and
yeah, she's great, and I really love that this book is Green Lantern's putting a lot of focus on her and giving her a lot of like time and attention, and a lot of care. I did actually stash away a Far Sector because I actually have not read Far Sector yet.
I adore Far Sector. That is one of my favorite comic books that I've read.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited about it. Friend of the pod, Jamal Campbell, illustrated it. Yeah, I'm very excited to read that. I'm actually considering pushing some things off of my reading list to push Far Sector up above.
Like, Jamal Campbell's art is always beautiful, but Far Sector has some special sauce to it that,
yeah,
I don't know, like, there's a lot of love he put into that book, I would say.
Yeah. If you haven't read all of his Zatanna stuff, yeah, you definitely should. It feels very similar
I think
too.
I'm 2 issues deep in Zatanna and enjoying it so far.
Excellent. But then, yeah, just to kind of circle back to Lantern, as to what Tate said, like, I am very sad to see it go. but or to Martian, sorry. But at the same time, like, it needed to end, like, and while it ends in a way that still leaves some open room for them to return, and I kind of hope that they do in a limited capacity, because there's some stuff that I want to see them tackle more. I love that the United States of America conceptually is an enemy of like, if you look up the villain Wikipedia for Absolute Martian, it's like
America.
America and Darkseid and like
Darkseid, like Despair Zero, the White Martian, United States of America, Darkseid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the concept of America itself. It's they do some I this is for Acacia rather than anyone else. They do some crazy stuff with the fact that, like, John Johns is a cop, and they are willing to go there in some crazy ways.
Oh, fascinating.
They do some shit.
Because the first issue was, the first, like, the dialogue at the beginning where he's, like, describing his job as an FBI agent and, like, why do people do the things they do? Why are some people a criminal and other people a cop? And I'm just like, this is such cop thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to see how being the Martian is going to alter that is something I'm looking forward to.
Very excited to, like, talk more with you about it when you do. And to kind of that point, and the point that we talked about earlier, there's some stuff too that this book is comfortable as like a writer and as a person who makes art. Like, it's very hard to, like, not want to explain everything, or not to be like, because you have a bunch of cool ideas and you want to, like, resolve all of them and share all the cool things going on in your head. And it takes a tremendous amount of talent and restraint to, like, not, like, directly or with perfect clarity answer every question that the series has provided, and just kind of just let you be able to fill in those blanks. It takes a tremendous amount of, like,
well, it would be off theme if they did. You know what I mean? Like, the whole book, again, based on reading an issue, but, like, it seems to be about perspective, and perspective is necessarily narrow. You know what I mean? Like, no one has, like, omniscience or whatever, like the author of a work does. But in a work that is so much about specific people's perspective on things, that should be limited. Like, there should be no, I don't know.
No, that was a beautiful way to put it.
I was going to say there should be no God voice, but based on what I've read so far, I suspect at some point in this book there will be a somewhat literal God voice, but, like, there shouldn't be a voice of the author so much as,
Yeah, no, they keep they keep some boundaries between those things. But yeah, it's the stuff they do with perspective here. I don't want to get too deeply into it, but there's a bit where some characters have to, like, experience corners of their lives that they couldn't possibly experience as separate people, but then in their melds they do. And I was very, very moved by this kind of, like, the way forward through. Like, it feels easy to say just in saying the thing, but the way forward through despair is, like, a radical amount of empathy, is, like, through, like, connection on, like, a really fundamental level.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's that hippie shit I can get behind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Peace and love, baby.
Rapper was talking to me about something the other week, and it was, like, a 3-year-old's birthday party. Like, will she remember this? No, probably not, but it will fill up, like, her like, love bank, like, internal, like, she'll, like, have experienced the, like, the positivity, the love of her family and friends at a young age, and,
like, the things you experience affect you, whether or not you actually remember them directly?
Yes, and that's like, in this issue 12, like, that's, like, in the issue, like, but the inverse of it, they're talking about, like, you're at a funeral and despair is at the funeral, but what then do you find in the community that's, like, physically present at the funeral? You find hope, and you find much better things than despair. I like this book a lot. It's really, really cool.
What is the line? Like, despair is a transitional state.
Yeah, despair is a and I forget. It was, like, how to break out of it, I think.
The phrase "funerals are for the living" comes to my mind at a moment like this.
Absolutely.
Where it's just like, it's not about mourning. It's about coming together over your shared love of someone who's no longer here.
Remember
Exactly.
Remember, like, going to just get, like, a pizza with them? Yeah.
And I feel like in my experience, like, most funerals that I've been to do have that moment of catharsis. You know what I mean? After you've buried the body and everybody's who's gonna cry or wail or whatever has done that. And then you're at somebody's house eating food because it's a potluck and, you know, chilling out and, like...
Seeing family members you've never seen for years.
Right.
Yeah.
And the despair is still in the room, but there's also joy and connection and, like you said, hope for the future, you know?
Yeah.
I really
that is my
this,
chair.
This notion of, like, despair being, like, transitional.
Flying.
Yeah.
I was, like, looking. Okay.
It does sound like it, yeah.
There's a line in Casanova actually that links almost directly to this, where it's in the third volume they say the pain of the past and its pastness converts to the future tense of joy. And I thought a lot about that in connection with this too. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, this is, and it's double sized, right?
Double sized, yeah.
It didn't feel like it reading it because you're just like turning the pages and looking at the art. It's so cool. You should all read Absolute Martian Manhunter and like cry about it because it's really good. Not like
They've
not
been
like
telling me this
negatively.
for months, and I didn't believe.
Yeah.
I've read one issue, and I'm a true believer now.
It's so good. I was really excited last night because I was like,
You
oh
were
my
like,
God.
there's no Psycrotch in it, I'm not.
Yeah, so I was drawing him.
No, that's exactly like
Because I've never read Martian Manhunter or like Justice League or anything, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't have any investment in these characters. So for me, its quality is entirely based on the quality of the work, you know, as opposed to like, you know, earlier speaking of X-Men comics, it's like these are my blorbles. I want to see, you know, blah blah blah. But like, no, I'm just like, this is an interesting story and an interesting character, and it's like, I don't know, I want to know more, and also I realize this is going to low-key ruin the character for me in a similar way to what, like, Immortal Hulk did for Hulk. You know what I mean?
it's so real.
Like, I don't know if I'm going to ever want to read other Martian Manhunter books after this, but...
All of the Martian Manhunter books other than this are totally different from this.
Yeah.
Like, he's basically, like...
Yeah.
He's like Superman, but, like, more alien.
Yeah.
In all other iterations of his character.
There's kind of a good way to describe in very short who he is. There's a scene in DC The New Frontier when he like lands in the 50s and he like accidentally kills this detective in landing, and so he takes that detective's form because he can shapeshift, and the scene is him, it's like 2 or 3 pages. He's like sitting in front of the TV and he spends like weeks in front of this TV, and he's like watching, he's like trying to like consume he's like trying to understand people through television, and so you like watch, he's like narrating it and you watch him shapeshift into different forms, and it's like political figures of the day, like he transforms into Bugs Bunny at one point. Like he's just like cycling through these characters because he's kind of a person who like, similarly to Superman, has all these like very intense godlike powers in a lot of ways, but he's very much kind of he's kind of the more like very autistic version of Superman.
He's like autistic Superman.
He's autistic Superman. We cracked it, guys.
Wow.
Ladies, we did it. Martian Manhunter is autistic Superman.
That is exactly what I was gonna say, and then I was like, I feel like this is an explanation that could go wrong.
No, we got you. We got you, Diva.
Okay, to make a connection that might or might not actually connect, I've heard it described that comic books are often comic books as a holistic, like American comic books as an institution are very reflective of Jewish values to an extent because of the fact that many of the early creators were Jewish people. Could we argue that there is a fundamental autisticness to American comics for similar reasons?
Yes.
Not to say which comic creators are and aren't autistic, because I don't fucking know.
Most of them.
But very many of them probably are.
Yeah. Significant amounts of them. Like,
Whatever would make you say that?
I'm sorry, there's no way that you write like, all right, so this boy becomes Superman because of the space wizard who lives in the Rock of Ages, and he fights against all of the sins of humankind. Like, you gotta be a little autistic for that, and I say that with love. Like, you don't get good shit like that with autistic people. That's why this podcast is aggressive. This is an aggressively autistic podcast. All of it, so many of us here.
If
how you went from all
were
us
not-
to
Oh,
so
you're like,
many.
wait a minute.
Well, I didn't want to like assume everybody. I know enough people here, but I don't know everybody's Sedge. I don't want to be jumping in too hard, but like,
You get an autism. You get an autism. You okay?
no, thank you for that. Also, shockingly here, this is
Bravo.
kind of a weird. This is a weird side note, and I probably wouldn't have even thought to bring it up, except we had this conversation. Well, what I found really interesting is like they never say in this issue, and they never say anywhere else for that matter, that like their son is autistic. They never say that
Oh.
explicitly.
Yeah.
But in the way that this series kind of has dealt with that, and especially this issue, like kind of actually starts to kind of get into that, it is an incredibly rare thing to see really any piece of art deal with like autistic people, particularly autistic people with higher levels of support needs, with like a tremendous amount of empathy and care. Because like usually even if somebody can be like, well, I know autistic people and they're cool, they're usually thinking of people with like quote unquote lower support needs, quote unquote. But to see like a character with like significantly bigger support needs than like a lot of characters that you get in fiction, and for that person to be treated as like, especially like we okay, actually, yeah. So this book, if you'll bear with me here,
Is this spoilers?
no, not spoilers. Okay, so like this book asks the question kind of like, you know, what happens when you don't have language, like, and like how do you describe things if you don't have the language to articulate them? And that later extends, and I won't get into exactly how, but this gets into like, to its most maybe like literal conclusion. It's like, what happens when you're like a nonverbal autistic person and you don't know how to communicate verbally? How else do you communicate? How else are you heard or not heard, like by the people around you? And I think the way that it's handled here is like with a tremendous amount of grace and like humanity that. Like, it's very easy for I mean, like, Marvel's got a bunch of, like, disabled Pride covers right now, and, like, that's cool, I guess, but, like, and DC's gonna do it, too, but, like, a lot of these companies, like, they're doing cool stuff. I'm not trying to, like, say they're not, but, like, there's up to a certain threshold of, like, disability or, like, that people are willing to engage with other people having, or, like, and like meeting people where their needs are at, and so it's a crazy thing, and like a really cool thing to see a book actually like.
Almost like it's a weirdly radical statement to say that disabled people deserve, you know, empathy and support, despite how hard that is for those around them.
Yeah.
Like that's like it's easier for people to deal with the more palatable disabled person, you know, or the more palatable neurodivergent person.
Yeah.
And that's broadly true of just like, you know, any marginalized person. It's like we all know to different degrees in different ways, like the palatability of like who we are is like we only get support or care or grace or whatever if we are palatable to those around us, and we can express that in ways that are palatable to those around us. And it's a hell of a thing to read something like this, and even other Dennis Camp comics in very different ways that are like grant an interiority and grace to people who are not usually given interiority and grace.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think maybe that's all I should say about it without getting too deep into specifics. Does anybody have
I
anything?
will say we love a comic writer with motifs and themes in their work, you know?
Yeah.
Not to be taken for granted. Not always the case.
We've long said this on this podcast that like Dennis Camp and Rom V single-handedly, the two of them as writers are like sweeping like 90% of like what's interesting in the monthly space, like as a broader project. Like there's a continuity and a development to that. It's like oh, we're like I don't mean to be too catty, because like at the end of the day I love my pulp too, and I think I should not be like disparaging all pulp just because like I think something is better, but like these are two writers who are like doing very serious and thoughtfully grounded work,
But they challenge that dichotomy between pulp and or rather between lowbrow and highbrow art.
Yeah.
You know, like the idea that superhero comics can be quote unquote real art. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, that makes perfect
the
sense.
dichotomy is fake. You know, and you can tell meaningful, like deep, interesting stories which really talk about real stuff through the Martian Manhunter. You know, or you know, any of these other examples we've variously popped out with throughout the show, you know, whether it's like Far Sector or Immortal Hulk Chainsaw Man, you know, it's like, it can both be dumb fun and also not dumb at all.
Exactly, yeah. Because superhero comics for so long, and like kind of pulpier comics in general, has kind of taken this like Dark Knight Returns, Watchmen kind of approach, or misunderstandings of them.
Yeah, I think like the in order to be taken seriously, often superhero comics have had to be like dark and gritty, and I think that's like, I think thankfully that's something that we're like moving away from. Honestly, like I mean, I think there's always gonna be Watchmen, Dark Knight bros. Yeah. But I think like we've reached a point where I think like Ryan North's Flash or Fantastic Four is a great example of this. I think similarly the like Dan Mora and oh my god, what's his name? Justice League Unlimited.
Mark Waid.
Mark Waid stuff is like another good example of this, like sort of really seriously craft-minded projects that are designed to like be what superhero comics were always meant to be, which is like a fun thing that's like made well for people. You know, and like I think it's easy to be like kind of like Glaze Kirby or whatever, but like Kirby was making pulp entertainment, and that's like not a bad thing. Many pieces of art that are deeply important to cultural, like our kind of contemporary cultural space, like even Shakespeare is like, that's like pulp shit. You know, it's like it's supposed to be entertaining, and even like Watchmen and stuff, it's like that's like, it's fundamentally it's like still like an entertainingly made superhero comic. Otherwise it wouldn't be sort of this classic. It just also happens to be like dark and gritty, so it's literary, whatever that means. But I feel like Martian Manhunter is like a really good melding of it. Same with like Ron B's New Gods.
Excellent book.
Ron B. New Gods, like, it's got a ton of the superhero stuff that we're used to, you know, like Orion and Superman like fighting or whatever, you know, and like planets being blown up and stuff, but it's also got something kind of more emotionally impactful and sort of like thematically critical and thoughtful that I think we're starting to see proof that you can do both. And you can do them really well without sacrificing each other. And I think that's really exciting. I don't know. The X-Men's got to get on that shit.
And you know who is on that shit? We're not going to cover it too much, but Batman. Batman number 11. I know you haven't read it yet, so I won't cover a whole lot of like specifics of it. But like, this is kind of another pinnacle to me of like, this tends to be less on the like capital L literary side of things, but this is like some of the most thoughtful Batman character work I've seen in some time. Like just how like Bruce interacts with the family and like the kind of like relationships that they have with each other, the kind of relationship he has with Alan Scott Green Lantern in one issue, like is more thoughtfully engaged than like a lot of other books, but it's also like a Batman book. Like nothing in that issue happens that's like particularly that radical, but it's like
it's just really well done.
It's really well crafted. It's really well crafted and really thoughtfully crafted. I feel like a lot of my complaints are that like reading a lot of like modern contemporary superhero stuff feels very like cynical, because it feels like the writers feel very cynically about it, the artists feel very cynically about it, or at least the company feels very cynically about it.
Yeah, or the artists and writers feel very cynical about the company.
Yeah, it's like here is your content, and like, look, you know, sometimes content's okay. Like, we can't all be bangers, but Batman's among many that show that like you can do like a very fun, often very silly, very action oriented book and do so with a tremendous amount of like thought and care. there's stuff in these every single issue of Batman I open up, I'm like genuinely surprised by something that the book is willing to do, and it's never like Martian Manhunter lift up the page kind of stuff, like, but just like a line of dialogue or like a panel composition that's like, oh, like y'all really care.
Thought about this, yeah.
And y'all really care. It's a tremendous thing to live in a world where we're seeing more monthly books, at least like a few, and like a lot of what's on the shelf, because there's like a big lot of things on the shelf are so cynical, and so to see a kind of small bloom of like these very not cynically made books kind of cropping up, and like being able to like keep and maintain themselves pretty consistently is a hell of a thing.
What are you reading right now, Aldo?
Martian Manhunter. Thor is really cool right now, I think, with Aluin.
Please tell us more about that, because
neither of us are reading Thor right now, but I'm kind of curious whether I should be.
So I think if you want to read Mortal Thor, you should read Immortal Thor first, because it's really the same series. The title change happens because something happens.
Because he becomes mortal?
Yeah, you can probably guess. And then I think there's going to be a third one that'll just be a continuation of this as well. But it's really cool. It's... gosh, how do I... So, Mortal Thor turned into more of like almost like a Villain of the Week fight comic, but the themes are all still there. It's like Thor working his way kind of up like a ladder of bad dudes to get to... Well, he's like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Let me find out. Like, who's at the top of messing with me? And it's Donald Blake, because he would like to have like he wants to be a real boy rather than be like the Serpent. So he wants Sigurd Jarlsson, who is Thor, not Thor. He wants his soul. And it's pretty cool. Like, this last issue was, I think, 12.
I love that they gave him the most Thor-ass name possible without
naming
Thor.
And he still has, like, so he doesn't have Mjolnir, he has just a hammer. He's a construction worker.
I like that he just has a hammer. I really love that.
Well, he has a bungee cord, too. He throws his hammer at people, and then he pulls it back with a bungee cord.
Wait! Oh, yeah. I gotta read that.
It's so silly.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And what else does he do? He fights capitalism. Well, he, like, fights to, like, live in capitalism. It's hard to actually fight it, but he's doing it, and it's cool. Yeah, I kind of have an idea of where it's going, but, like, not, like, what's happening. And, yeah, it's one of my favorite series. Also, yeah, no, that's it.
It's kind of funny that he's, like, Mortal Thor right now is, like, kind of doing a very similar thing to Absolute Batman, where he's, like, a construction worker, normal guy who, like, has to deal with, like, insane, like, godly shit. But I think I haven't read Mortal Thor other than flipping through it, but from what I've like flipped through of the Mortal Thor era, I've been very compelled by, like, he seems more like he's actually like just a construction crew guy than like Absolute Batman. He like shows up every like one panel every few issues, and he's like, I'm doing a construction.
I'm building a bridge.
Yeah. It's like Ben Shapiro when he like took that one photo outside of that Home Depot with like one plank of wood in the back of his truck.
I know. I'm like, dude, how are you not fired, Bruce? Like,
it's like the series like almost jokes about it. Where the like in the Wonder Woman stuff, he's like, hey man, I gotta take 3 weeks off, and they're like, whatever, man, you're a good worker. It's very funny. But it's like you're flipping through like fucking Mortal Thor, and he's just like carrying around his little lunchbox and his little hammer, and some like rich guys are like, hey, we're gonna fuck you up.
No, so like one of the plots of it's like within the first like 3 issues is he's trying to find a job, and he's like, well, I have like amnesia or whatever. All I know is that like I have a hammer and I'm a strong guy. I can do construction. And so he goes and he's trying to get hired legitimately, but the boss is like union busting his guys, and he's like, hey, Sigurd, come be a scab. And Sigurd's like, no, what? Because if I treat someone like that, then what does that make me? A piece of shit. I'm not doing that. So he sends like these these biker thugs that like love Thor to go kill him, and he's like, no, I'm gonna beat you with a hammer. So he beats them with a hammer, and it's really cool.
So
Well,
I
then he
beat him
beats
with
him.
a hammer.
I love that they send some Nazis after him. He's like, I'm fuck him up.
Well, it's so sick because they keep they're talking about Thor and yeah, he's so cool, blah blah blah, and there's a dude just beats them with a hammer. Like this dude who's essentially he's not Thor, but he
is Thor, but he's not.
Yeah.
And he's just he doesn't even wait for them to come to him. He goes and finds them at their bar, and he just beats the shit out of them.
Base. The people want Nazis to get their shit rocked. This is what people want.
Speaking of beating people with hammers, there's a movie, The Furious, is in theaters right now. If you like martial arts movies, and if you like human traffickers getting beat with hammers,
Wait, I like these things.
it's sick. People in my theater were kind of I was one of them. People were like, "Yo!" It was sick. The ending is really cool and beautiful, and it's really cool. It's a Chinese movie, so expect a lot of it's dubbed, which is their mouths are moving and speaking English, but then it feels like they dubbed English over that.
Weird.
It doesn't make the movie worse. It was just something I noticed. And I was like, that's odd. But this movie kicks ass.
Okay. No, that's excellent. I'm very excited. My wife has sent a Judge Judy TikTok gif to the group chat, which means that we should probably start closing up.
Okay, your wife knows what we do when we end the podcast.
She's got to come do our song. And just very quickly, I'm just going to make note of some things that I didn't get to that I want to get to. Jake, the new Adventure Time, Mariko Tamaki, and Brenda Hickey quadruple feature. I was going to check out the facsimile of 8 Ball. We'll see if I read it. They put out a book called Demon Faggots, which means I'm going to read it as a demon faggot myself. I'm going to read it. And then they put out a facsimile of Hellboy #1, which is cool.
You're a she-fag.
I can be a dyke fag. I can be many things.
Shag.
A shag. Stop. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I can't say that on this podcast. Never mind. Pearl, would you sing us a song? You're the piano tran.
There are some people in this life who never, ever had to write 2 songs in one day, but Pearl, she has to write 2 songs in one day, and then there's people in this podcast who've never even written 1 song in their life!
Well, why would we write songs when you write
And
to an
that's
episode?
the end of the song. I love you.
That was the best song yet.
Wow, I love that song.
That was incredible.
I love
You,
that it called out everybody here except me.
There are some people.